Hi, and welcome. We're in Dal's Kitchen, and my name is Chef Julio Rodriguez. The reason why we call it Dal's Kitchen is simple. My wife is called Dal. Her real name is Dolores, but when she was born, she looked like a muñequita, and in Spanish that means Dal. And of course, the name stuck. I'm the resident chef of La Cocina de Dali, or Dal's Kitchen. And today, we're going tropical. We're going to do a lot of things with the plantain, plátano. We're going to make maduros. We're going to make tostones, and we're going to finish by making mofongo. Okay? The plantain is a starchy product, not a banana. It's a vegetable. It comes from the Caribbean, very staple product in the Caribbean, brought over from Africa by friars a long time ago. The plantain changes color. It becomes yellow. And then this is when it really gets nice, when it becomes blackened yellow. That's when it's totally ripened, and at times it's even used not only for maduros, but for dessert. Okay, we're moving on, and what we're going to do is we're going to start out and heat up some oil and make some maduros. The maduros are very simple. We simply cut off the edges. Take a smaller knife, make an incision, and push the skin off, just like, it's almost like a banana because it's very sweet and very soft. This is the other half, and as you could see, out comes a very sweet plantain. Plantain you can cut in all sorts of shape. You can simply make some maduros, which we're going to do today, by cutting them in this angle. Or you could take half of the maduro and make it and cut it in that type of shape. Right? Here we go. We have some oil, and we're going to put some of the plantains, the sweet ripened plantains, in here. And these basically, in a deep fryer, take about a minute or so to ripen. They're really very quick. You really need a nice oil, vegetable or corn oil. And as you can see, the maduros are ripened plantains. They get done in a hurry. And these are the maduros. You can simply put them into a paper towel to make sure that a lot of the oil is drained off. You can cut them again in the smaller portion, or you can make them oblong, however you wish. And again, these are served alongside rice, chicken, steak, something fantastic. It adds a sweetness to the tropical rice and beans meat plate. Those are maduros. These are the green plantains. Green plantains you can get in various shapes, and sometimes you're lucky enough to get twins. I said to the man today, does this count as one or two? He said one. Good. So I grabbed it. All right, and they charge you for the price of one, which is good. The green plantain, or plátano, as we're going to use today for making tostones, simply what you have to do is cut off those ends. Then you notice you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ridges. Simply follow with a small knife 3 of those ridges, and just go into this part of the green part of the green skin. Take a butter knife. Butter knife here. And simply push out. There you go. On the green skin of the plátano. That's one. There you go again. push out. And the last part, let's get that pushed out. A lot of people think that this is hard. It's really not. Get rid of whatever green areas are left, and that's what you want with a plátano. These are going to become tostones, which are basically twice fried plantains. You want to cut them about 1 to 1.5 inches. All right. And as you notice, I have some already here in salt water. It's good to add them to salt water because what happens is the salt water retains the color. And also, when you fry them, you want them lightly fried, lightly golden, because they're going to become twice fried. Or you have a peeler at home. This is a neat trick to do with plátanos. What you want is simply to take the peeler and follow it all the way through, and you're going to get these little slithers of plátano, and either add them to salt. They're called mariquitas, or simply how I call them, very lightly fried plantains. We're going to throw those into the fryer. The plantains that I have, let's get rid of some of that water. In salted water, get rid of some of that. We don't get too much of that noise in the background. And these are going to be deep fried. Be careful when you deep fry. Make sure you don't burn yourself, first of all. Second, make sure that you don't have too many plantains at one time, because it'll elevate the oil. And you want these plantains again to be in a low temperature so that they come out nice golden brown, lightly golden brown. Let's add a few more. They get done so quickly because they're very thin, and you can use those for a lot of things. But the big guy today is the tostón, the plátano, the double fried plantain. We're going to take these guys, we're going to turn them into tostones, and while they're frying, we're going to make a mojito. The mojito is made by taking some virgin olive oil. In this case, we're going to make a lot of mojito because we're going to use it for a mofongo. We're going to add about 4 tablespoons of virgin Spanish olive oil, 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and to that we're going to add about 4 cloves of pressed garlic. We're going to add some of my regular spices, which are oregano, salt, pepper, and a little pepper flakes. Gives it flavor. And my favorite, a little bit of adobo. Oh yeah, adobo is a mixture of garlic, pepper, oregano, and other spices. Just very nice. Mix all that up. That's basically a mojito. And here is what we're going to do. We're going to simply use the mojito for dipping our tostones or our mariquitas into. And we're also going to use the mojito to flavor our mofongo as we move on. Okay? These are the very light flaked plátanos that we did earlier. You can use these again for decorative, or you can use them for simply make lots of them and make them as chips. Add some salt to them and serve them as chips. But what we've done is we have made quite a few of the tostones, and we have fried them for the first time. The tostones could be turned into a sort of a cup which holds all sorts of wonderful items by simply using a tostonera and taking the tostone and putting, I would say 2 in there and pressing it down. And you would get this cute little cup. There you go. That cup needs to be fried twice, but we're going to do that shortly. Add a little bit of oil so it doesn't stick, and let's do another one. Let's put 2 of them in there, press them down, turn it into a cute little cup. Okay, these again I'm going to take and I'm going to give them what is called a second fry. The other tostone.
Okay, the other.
Yeah, you ready?
Yep.
The other tostones are simply pressed, and what's going to happen here is we're going to refry these. These are going to become my actual tostones. I like to make this size tostone. It's sort of a puffy tostone, and you can use simply a can, or if you want to go old style, you can even use a paper bag. This is the way they were done years ago, which is so cool. Still go in that area. What's going to happen is that these tostones that have been pressed are going back into the fire. They're going to be fried for a second time. Let's do a little, press a few more. There you go. Okay, cut.
Down in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Okay, here we have the maduros, here we have the margaritas or mariquitas, and here we have the tostones, which are basically double fried plantains. And the beautiful thing about these is that if you fry them at a nice medium temperature, medium high, you're going to get a tostone that has been twice fried, but yet the oil is not inside. It's really nice and it's crispy outside, and it's perfect to dip into a mojito and then serve with, of course, chicken, steak, pork chops, or simply by themselves. The ones that we made into a cup could be filled. You can fill these with a nice bacalao salad, which I made yesterday, which is still hanging around and fantastic. Or you could fill these with a little bit of chicken from a chicken sauce that we made earlier. And let's get some of that out. Oh my God, this is so great. And these are fantastic appetizers that you could serve with simply using a plátano. Okay, moving on, what we're going to do is we're going to take these same tostones that we double fried plantains, and we're going to put them into a mortar and pestle. This is a very, very popular product in the Caribbean, especially this one here. It's made of wood, and if you do have one of these at home, I suggest that you don't put it in water. Wipe it down, clean it, keep it nicely oiled, and it'll last you forever. In making what we're going to do with the mortar and pestle today is the main dish, which is called mofongo. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the tostones that we made earlier. We're going to use some pork skin or pork rind, and we're going to add to that some mojito. We're going to beat the heck out of it, and the main thing that we already have in the mojito, which helps to make a nice mofongo, is of course garlic. Okay, we added about 5-6 cloves into that. Should give it a nice garlic flavor. For making a nice mofongo, basically what you need to do is take some of these pork rinds, and about 5, I'm gonna make a nice big one, 6. Take some mojito, I would say about 2 nice tablespoons, and grind that together, and then add your tostones. In this case, we're going to make a nice big mofongo because our cameraman Derek loves mofongo. Yes, indeed. And what we're going to do now is simply squeeze all of these items together and beat them to a smithereen. And as you're working it, what I suggest you do is simply work the corners, get the corners down, and make sure that it's all mixed, blended together. Very nice. And as we're nearing the end, get these corners, these edges, round edges, nicely rounded, and take a butter knife and work the sides. Take it, beat it down, and there you have a beautiful mofongo. We're going to take this mofongo and going to put it into the center of our plate. That's going to be our star. Earlier today, so good. Earlier today, I made a nice chicken stew, and we're going to add a nice sauce around this to give it a lot of flavor. Thing about a good mofongo is that if you eat it by itself, after a while, it'll become a little bit dry. But if you have a nice chicken sauce or a steak beef sauce or a seafood sauce to go with it, it really makes it a whole lot better. And give this a little green to go with it. And serve it. Oh my God, that is so beautiful. Okay, so we've gone through the plátano. We've done our island, and here we are with the sweet plátano. The flakes of plantains, which are, you really got to try these. These are excellent potato chips like plantains, and of course you can add a little bit of salt to that and bring those about. Make those for your next party. Or you can simply take tostones. My favorite way of doing those is to dip them into a mojito and then follow with a little ketchup. Fantastic. Okay, and you can do an appetizer by simply filling the tostoneras and making a nice cup and fill it with whatever you want. You can make it with seafood, beef, chicken, or bacalao. And last but not least, the mofongo. Oh my God. Garlic, mojito, pork rind, plantains into a mortar, beaten up with a little bit of chicken stew, chicken sauce to go with it, some cilantro or parsley. I gotta try this. I gotta try this. This is so good. My name is Julio Rodriguez. This is Doll's Kitchen. That's mofongo at its best. Thank you. We'll see you again soon.